Well, it's fantastic to have Kyle Edmund with us. Won your match earlier down on court 18. Congratulations. How does it feel to be back at the championships this year and getting a win under your belt?
Yeah, it's actually nice to finally win one. I think, you know, I've had enough losses here basically, so it's good to win. And today it was good. I played well after losing the first set. It's nice to get that momentum changed, and basically throughout the match I improved my play, and towards the end I really carried a lot of momentum.
Couple of stats that we're going to talk about here.
Yeah.
You won 57% of your baseline points. So when we think about it, you played 105 points there where you stayed at the back of the court. You won 60. When I go through all the slams and look at 57%, the player that is the highest at the end of the tournament is at 57%. It's an outstanding number. Did it feel like that for you out there today, how dominant you were from the back of the court?
Yeah, I mean, in general, I'm very confident with my ground strokes. And essentially on grass, it's all about the serve and return. So I actually felt like I returned, after the first set, I returned very well. So I was able to get into the rallies a lot more. And yeah, like you said, I felt very comfortable from the back. So as soon as I was getting in those rallies, I was backing myself.
Which is a reason for the next question. You only came to the net 12 times in 4 sets, 3 times a set on average, not a lot. So it's like, hey, I kind of forgot about it, or he wouldn't let me in, or I'm pretty good at the back of the court, thank you.
Yeah, I don't really know why. I mean, I have a decent percentage actually. There was a percentage at French Open when I came to the net. I won 88% of my points, which is a good stat. And today, I think when I did come to net, I won a lot of points. So it shows that I'm coming to net at right times. Maybe could have taken a few more risks. It's just that split decision, like,
yes,
am I approaching here or am I ghosting in?
Yeah.
Like you said, maybe because I was having success, I was comfortable at the back, I tended to stay there.
One last stat before we see some vision of your points.
Yeah.
IBM have got some wonderful new data, and it's all about the first point of the game when you're serving.
Yeah.
So both yourself and Alexander, in 17 service games, you won the first point of the game when serving 11 times. Great. You won, when you won the first point, you won all 11 of those games.
Yeah.
So let's look at the 6 for both you guys when you didn't.
Yeah.
When the 6 points, the 6 games where you didn't win the opening point, you came back and won 5 of those 6.
Yeah.
Alexander only won 2 of 6 of those games. Is the first point of the game really that important?
Absolutely, especially on grass. Like I said earlier, it's if you can serve and return very well, especially on grass, like it helps massively. So it's more of a momentum/mental thing. If you get that first point in and win it, you just feel you have an upper hand, and it puts the pressure straight on the server, because he either has to get an unreturnable or a cheap point, because he knows if he loses that, he's left 30 down, and then you know you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
And also saying that if you win the first point, you have 3 more opportunities to win 1 more point to take it to 30 all. So it just puts basically pressure, match pressure on the server, and you feel it. You know, when you lose the first point, it's like, right, there's no margin for error. I have to win.
Exactly right. Let's go through some of your points here, and I'd love for you to do some evaluation of your own game. I see good defense.
Yeah.
Now, what's all this about? Isn't this side of the court over here all about backhands with a B, and this side all about forehands? I sat, actually, you may not remember this, you may not even know I was there. It was in Monte Carlo. You played Dan Evans. I was in the front row behind, and all I saw was this beautiful run around forehand. Yeah. You're one of the best in the world at it. You won a set off Rafa on clay in Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
What's the advantage?
Well, this point actually, he actually had a pretty good return, and I did sort of well to neutralise the rally with my backhand. But like you say, sort of, if you take 3/4 of the court from there to there, I've got to be looking for my forehand. Like, my forehand's my best shot. It does the most damage. So if your forehand's the best shot, you want to be on the forehand as much as you can. If you're hitting backhand, for me, it's going to be allowing opponents to get in the rally. So when you're on the grass court, it's not easy to get around and hit your forehand because it's so low. And
wonderful
quick.
Backhand defense there.
Yeah, I think that was actually to break him in the second. But again, when it's mid-court like that, I could get on the front foot. That's what I'm doing. And then I go back behind here.
Now, go back behind.
Yeah.
For people that are going to be watching over the next 2 weeks, I'm a massive fan of playing behind. I'm going to tell you what I think, and then you tell me why you made this decision. A lot of times when we look at the opponent and they turn their hips, let's just do one circle over there, shall we? There we go.
Yeah.
When they turn their hips, they're basically committing fully to going cross court, and it makes it almost impossible to stop. You actually do hit this down the line. Did you recognize he turned, or why exactly did you go down the line with this one?
Well, basically, I was in a commanding position. I felt actually I could have hit it either way and still won the point, but on the grass court, because it's so tough to change direction on the grass court and the danger of slipping, as soon as you get them on the run, you hit behind them, it's like you said, it's almost impossible to turn. So that's what I did. Sometimes players can actually go to run but then hold their position. But it's a feeling, it's a reaction thing, it's a split-second decision. And yeah, I knew he was going to run there, so I just played it line, not particularly hard, and yeah, he wasn't there.
Fantastic. Now, you're in a situation in the ad court. If we look at our opponent, Alexander, down here, he's going to the slice.
Yeah.
He's on defense. So essentially, when we look at the juice and ad court, you're standing over in the ad, he basically has to hit it over here on defense. If he goes down the line, you're going to get him cross court.
Yeah.
So that basically, that half of the court doesn't exist anymore. And we see here, you're already cheating over to hit a forehand.
Yeah, I mean, when you see him on a slice like that, it's a very... The margin for error is a lot lower when you hit it line. There's more chance of making an error. And also he's watching the ball, so he's not really watching me. So the only way he can get me onto a forehand is if he hits a very good slice there, which he probably won't. So yeah, that's what I cheated over to get my forehand.
Fantastic. Well, let's have a look.
I did get my forehand, I think. Yeah.
Yes, you do.
There you go, and then got him on the run and actually shanked it a little bit, but yeah.
We don't need to tell anyone else that. Good return.
And the inside in.
Love the inside in. And once again,
same thing, yeah,
we see the hips turned and you're going back behind. I'm a huge fan of that. We got match point.
Match point again, a shank, but...
a few shanks in this match.
And this was a good smash.
Game, set a match.
What's the feeling as soon as it's done? You've hit that overhead winner. Is it like, yes, or is it like,
6-1.
Thank goodness that's over?
More just because I was playing Alex. He's been struggling with injury. He did really well to come through qualifying. I know him. He's a good guy. Like he's very respectful, really nice, down-to-earth guy. So it was just more about respecting the opponent, shaking hands, doing it professionally, and yeah. I mean, it's nice to win, but it's one match. There's no point getting so emotional over it.
Exactly. Well, Carl, thank you very much. We know you've got a lot of press after the match and you need to get home and rest and get ready for the upcoming tournament, but we appreciate you coming. We appreciate you going through your match and giving us some insights.
No problem.
All of the young players all over the world, I hope you tape that. I hope you rewind and see what Carl's talking about. We'll be back in just a couple of moments to do some social media with Carl, but thank you very much and all the best for the rest of the tournament.